right, hey everyone, James Spanky, Hodson. I'm from Denver, Colorado, Lakewood to be precisely, just between Denver and Golden, Colorado. I've been a member since just after C1. I went to C1 in my local town of Denver, Colorado, and the Jansma brothers had their very first R2 that they built back in, I think, what was it, like 1979, and I loved it. I sized myself to it, everything. I tried to get dimensions, and I turned around and I tried to start making my own, and I was like, oh, I need more measurements, more reference pictures. I looked all over the web, and I came across this little group called the R2 Builders Club. At the time, there was only 30 members, and so I joined, and that's kind of why I call myself one of the elders, because I've been in there since, way back in the beginning. Now there's 3,500 members as of like last, and now with George stopping by our room, we're gonna have plenty more. I built an R2D2 to begin with, and it wasn't too much for a while. It's just a static two-leg that I built with Greg Nally Droid Boy parts. And after I kind of didn't like the overall quality and our group was starting to make better quality parts, I turned around and started upgrading to mechanics and not worrying about the parts on the outside so much. And I met Craig, who's now a very good friend of mine, him and Cindy, and I learned how to use the J-rod, and I put the J-rod in, and I put head motors in, and I was getting it remote control. About the time that I got it completely understandable on remote controlling, I changed my mind again and started building a new droid. And now I've got my droid over here, and I'll show that to you in a second. It's mostly a fiberglass body from Brett Landon. It's got aluminum legs and feet from Gary Weaver, and R&J dome and miscellaneous little parts that I've collected over the way. I've modified a new J-rod system that incorporates Tom. Sorry, Tom, I don't remember how to pronounce your last name. It has a linear actuator on the front. It's got the J-rod system on the side and a nice little leg track in the rear. Still think it's better than using tilt rods, but I don't know. We'll see. Afterwards, it's going to have all the details parts. It's going to be a full remote control 2-32, just like Craig's, and I love it. It's great. It's a beast. It is a beast. It's probably got to be one of the heaviest ones here. It's like 210 pounds probably. And I also designed a temporary droid to go along with it, and it's my R3D2 head. And it's painted almost the same paint scheme as R2D2, except I tried to reverse, and then of course it's an R3, so it's got Greblies in the head. But just to change out the droid, all I do is I just throw on some new panels all over it, and it will look amazing, and it'll look like a totally different droid. I gotta tell you guys, this weekend's been a blast. I attended Celebration 1. I didn't even know Jason and all them, and Terry and all them at Celebration 1. But, I had a blast at Celebration 1. Celebration 2 was even better. We got to meet a lot of people. We got to meet Don. It was great. Only 30 people there, and it was a blast. And then this, oh my God. For all the builders, I get to see this C3 DVD. This was an event. This was the event. Not only did we get George, not only did we get to see George live on stage, which doesn't happen but maybe once every 20 years. We also got to see George come into our room and look at all of our R2s. We got to see Rick come into our room. We got to see them say, well, maybe I might want these droids for my next television series. And we also got the massive group shot. I got to shake George's hand. It was a weekend. I loved it. I'm glad I got to bring my cousin Michael along with me, and I'm glad I got to hang out with Michael McMaster recording me. He's made me have a little big head, but it's all good, and I've been happy. And Jason's the man. You rock, buddy. And I can't wait to do C4, Worldcon, whatever's next, man. I will have R2 done, and we will take it, and we will have a blast. You'll see.